Oh, welcome to the Sharpe Show. So happy to have you with me this evening, a little bit past 7:30 p.m. on the East Coast. And yes, I made it. I know I'm a little bit late. I was supposed to come on at 7. I traveled today. I was running around today. I know you don't care, but I was able to get back, still have dinner with my daughter, and still be able to do my show today. Look at me go. And I'll be traveling again tomorrow again. So sadly for some of you, there will be no show tomorrow, but there will be one on Saturday. So we will have a glorious AMA on Saturday, even though we can't have one tomorrow because I'll be running around other places tomorrow again. Travel, sometimes good, sometimes bad. So in any case, I am happy you guys are with me. As always, click the button known as like. I appreciate it. Some of you may be saying to yourself, Larry, I have noticed something different. There's something a little bit different today. There is. There's a symbol up here, if you notice. It says civil, S. See, civil, my S, that's my good. I'm so used to Sharpe way with my cool S. CIVL. Yes, it is right here. Civil is right here. We are going to start bringing on new sponsors soon. Yes, I know some of you are excited. Coming very soon. Yes, so you can check out Civil if you want to. There's going to be a bunch of great stuff. We're going to be on Civil. It's all popping up soon. We're going to get a special link for you guys to go. It's going to be amazing. It's a little preview. I hope you enjoy that. So yes, but today is not necessarily about that. I mean, it can be, but how to take comments. But today is about something that I kind of want to bring up because I have been talking about a lot of failures recently. I have failures in New York City, failures in New York State, failures with the man himself, Donald Trump, failures with Democratic Party, a lot of failures. But I want to talk about some successes today. You might go, successes? What do you mean, Larry? It feels like the world is ending. It's not. It's not yet, at least. It's not, at least not yet. But there's one group of people, one group in general, that's actually doing pretty well right now. What is that group? It is MAHA. Yes, it is. And I know some of you don't like MAHA at all. I know some of you do. And some of you love MAHA. I know. But whether you love MAHA, Make America Healthy Again, or hate MAHA, or don't care, whatever, or care more about Trump or more about AOC or whatever you care about. I know this is a very varied chat, a very varied audience. What you have to understand is what I always say, is if people are doing what they're saying and getting the stuff done that they said, then that's a win. Then that is a win. What do I mean by that? Boy, oh boy, can you see right now if you're looking, while everyone is mad at Trump because he didn't get this done or didn't get that done, mad at DOGE because DOGE didn't get this done, didn't get that done, mad because the military industrial complex didn't get cut. You know who's still killing it? RFK Jr. and HHS. He is actually getting things done. And some of you are going to say, but Larry, I did not want this to happen. I think that's bad. I don't care. I don't mean to be mean to you. I didn't want Trump to do his tariffs. I didn't. I was open about that. And he did. And I said, I'm glad he did them. And they were like, why, Larry? You don't like the tariffs. Why are you glad that he did it? Because he said he would. He said he would, and he did. Good. Why I'm not happy about Iran. He said no new wars, and then he might have started one. So maybe we'll see. Looks like he started one, but we'll see what happens. So yeah, not happy about that. RFK Jr. said he's going to go attack everybody for the dyes and fluoride and so-and-so. And he's actually doing it. I want to show you a couple pieces if I could. This is something from MAHA PAC. And those of you who don't know, MAHA PAC is a PAC that supports, obviously, MAHA, RFK Jr., things like that, right? If you follow them on X, it's MAHA, MAHA _ PAC, MAHA PAC. This is a piece from them, if I could bring this up. So you'll see they have a thing called a MAHA Minute because so much cool stuff is happening. I know some of you are jealous. So much cool stuff is happening. They have to put it all in a minute.
The tide is shifting, and this week proves it.
I'm Kaylin Sinclair, and this is your MAHA Minute.
See that?
The MAHA agenda officially hitting the grocery shelves.
True.
General Mills announced they're removing all artificial dyes from their U.S. products.
Now, could that have happened before? No. And I'm going to go one step further. If you like Trump and you're like, oh, Trump's a great guy, whatever. This is the reason why Trump got the mandate, because of this. This is what brought enough people over for Trump to actually get and beat Kamala in the popular vote. This is what did it. MAHA did it. At least 3 million votes for stuff just like this.
This came after Kraft Heinz said the same.
They all
And over at
bowed.
Sam's Club, Secretary Kennedy gave props after they agreed to eliminate over 40 sketchy ingredients.
Yep.
Ingredients including aspartame and artificial colors.
There we go.
The new CDC vaccine safety panel is wasting no time.
And people were mad about this. I wasn't. But people were mad about this. And they jumped on board and getting stuff done.
They're already prepping to vote next week on mercury and flu shots and the MMRV combo vaccine for toddlers.
Now, note, it's the combo for toddlers. And I want to be very clear about this. This is the part that I'm okay with as a libertarian. I don't like banning stuff. You know I don't. But the part that I like about this is he's not saying you can't get it. If you want that for your toddler, you may. If you want that for yourself, you may. He thinks it may not be mandatory. And I'm okay with that.
A year ago, these were off-limit topics, and now they're under the microscope.
Yes.
And in honor of Men's Health Month, even...
By the way, did you know it was Men's Health Month? Been that way for years. Who talks about that? Nobody. Who cares about men? HHS does now.
The FDA is urging men to speak up and get real support for mental health. And that's it for this week's MAHA Minute. The momentum is real, and we're just getting started.
She's not wrong. And let me give you the thing. I have to do this.
MAHA PAC is responsible for the contents of this advertisement.
Didn't want to get them in trouble. See, so I'm being good. I shared that piece too. Yes, already happening. Andrea says, I'm extremely happy to see Dr. Malone on the vaccine board. Yep, I saw him at Freedom Fest 2 weeks ago. I saw him in California. He's happy as can be, jumping up and down. So yes, he is absolutely great. Yes. Mike says 12-day war's over and Trump promised to deny nukes. Iran nukes kept, another win. You're counting chickens first. I'm not sure. I'm not saying you're wrong, Mike. I'm saying I think you're counting your chickens pretty early. In a week or two, we'll see. If this goes back up, it won't have ended. And some people are saying it didn't end. Some people are saying they still got the stuff. Couple weeks, and I'm okay with that, but we'll see. That's all I'm saying. Andrea really happy. She goes, I want fluoride in my water. I'm being medicated without consent. That's coming too, by the way. Yes, that's also coming. Alexa, thank you so much for the $5. Thank you for the super chat. Go Maha. It's happening, Alexa. It's happening. You see it. It is happening. Literally says one thing that's going around is RFK saying he wants everyone wearing wearables. Thoughts, Larry? As long as it's voluntary to mine, I wear one. I keep checking my health. I have no problem with it. I'm happy. I have wearables too. I think they're amazing. I like them as long as it's voluntary. I think if people want to wear them, they should. It has helped me tremendously. Makes me think about my sleep, think about my health, think about my heart rate. I can tell you for sure, I am in better shape since I have one because I think about my health on a daily basis where I didn't always. So I'm a big fan of them. But again, as I always say, as long as it's voluntary, I don't care. Do what you want. And does it have to go to the internet? No, it can go directly to your phone, could go to the internet if you want to. Let this be the norm that people could even do local. Your doctor could have one if they wanted to. Your own medical group could have their own wearable if they wanted to. I think the concept's wonderful. Let it all go as long as it's not mandatory. I like it. I have it. I want it. And if somehow someone can hack my stuff, that's maybe it is. I don't care. And again, you may not agree with that, in which case, don't get a wearable. As long as it's not mandatory, I'm totally fine with it. I think they're amazing. I'm totally on board. I love it. Should not be mandated in any way, shape, or form. If you want to have a hospital group that makes it easier for you, if you have one, good for you, right? You, particularly if you're ill, like right now, Liberty Lady, I know you're healthy, but what if you weren't healthy? What if you were ill and you had a wearable on you that your doctor or your hospital group or whatever case may be could monitor you? And when you're in trouble, they would know maybe before you know. So they can come get you before you had a problem. So that kind of thing I'd be fine with if that's the issue. That kind of thing is fine. So I'm not mad at it as long as it's not mandatory. All good in my eyes. I like them. I have them. So that's all. Anyway, Liberty goes on to say, we care, Larry. Glad you made it today. We'll miss you Friday, but looking forward to Saturday's AMA. Yes, it should be cool. I hope we will rock and roll with it. It should. The AMAs are always good, right? Because you guys just ask anything and it goes very well. So yeah. Kim says, thank you for being a member, Kim. My worry, the sudden compliance of companies volunteering to remove food dyes and states removing fluoride. Does this mean when MAHA is out of office voluntarily, they voluntarily replace the toxins? I think no. Let me explain why, Kim. The reason why they did it so fast is because, and I'll show you in a second, I have another piece here. What Kennedy did was very savvy. He attacked states individually and got them to agree. Now you might say, why does that matter? Because if all of a sudden Oklahoma, which is one state, I'll show you in a second, changes its rules, now everyone who sells across the country has to make a special box of cereal for Oklahoma and no place else. And then what if California changes its rules too? That special box for California. And that just makes prices go up, and it's insane. That's really the route. They're not doing it because they care about the dyes and the flood. They don't care about that. What they care about is now they're going to have to make specialized boxes and specialized food for specialized states. And as soon as Kennedy did that, he did it in Texas and Oklahoma. I'll show you in a second. When he went after those two states, they went, okay, we gotta do something. So they said, we will comply. People don't know this is background, by the way. This stuff I know from the background. They said, we will comply, Kennedy, if you can make sure this is going to be nationwide. And we don't have to go state by state. Kennedy said, deal. That's how that was the negotiation that actually happened. Just so you're aware, that's what actually happened. He was like, we'll just do state by state. They're like, no, dude, we don't want 50 different boxes of Cheerios, right? Oh my God, 50 different boxes of Fruit Loops. That'll be a disaster. No, that'll kill us. Like, that'll be a disaster. And he said, oh, okay, so can we do statewide? I mean, countrywide? Yeah, done. That's how he made that happen. That was for the food dyes and the other things. And you'll see, I'm going to show you a little bit on that too. So yeah, I do think, the issue is they would have to rechange everything all over again. They wouldn't do it. They probably won't add it again, Kim. Again, not because they care. Remember, business doesn't care. It is apathetic. It's not mean. It's not evil. It's not good. It's apathetic. So they're going to have to make changes now. And most of these changes are very easy because what they're doing is following what they already do in Europe. So the same stuff they do in Europe, they're just now doing here, right? So will it be a little bit more expensive? Sure, I'm sure it will, but they'll make the change. And they're not going to want to change back again because it rechange vendors, rechange everything, ship the packaging. They don't want to do it again. It's going to cost money. As long as people keep buying the product, they don't care. So now instead of whatever, is it like $5 for a box of cereal? I haven't bought a box of cereal in years, whatever. So whatever, if it was $5 for a box of cereal, now it's $5.50. If you still pay the $5.50, they don't care. So that's the difference. So they won't just replace it because, again, they're not trying to harm. It's about cash, right? That's the issue. So, yes. Kintsugi says, I love how everyone in the thumbnail is begrudgingly clapping for him. Loving that the true man of the hour is. Kintsugi, you noticed. You just made my night. I didn't know if everyone would figure that out. You saw it. Because to be forward with you, they are begrudgingly clapping. Do you think Marco Rubio wants RFK Jr. to be succeeding? No. He's like, Rubio's failing. So he's like, okay, right? You think Elon Musk wants RFK Jr.? His DOGE fell apart. And he's like, Trump is okay with it because he's getting a win at least, right? So he can push out RFK Jr. all day long and show the wins. And again, I want to be very clear. Trump deserves the credit. Trump deserves credit for this. And some of you are going to be mad and some of you don't like Trump. I'm just being forward. Trump made this deal with RFK Jr. This only happens if Trump says yes and makes a deal. So you guys who don't like Trump, if you like RFK Jr., you got to give Trump credit for this one. He's the one who actually made this happen. So yes, absolutely. Kim goes, you must know me well, Larry. You know I'm sick of war stories. Need some good news from RFK Jr. Today is nothing but RFK Jr. good news. It is. So yeah, I made your day. Yes, absolutely. I made your day because I wanted to show something that was positive too. I'm with you, and I think it is. I got a couple more I want to pop up. Here's the one I was telling you about. What he was doing by state. Here is one from. Hold on. This is what he's doing here in Oklahoma, and again, this was a savvy move by him. Hitting each state, right, is a savvy move. This was Oklahoma.
I'm also instructing the state agencies that provide meals. This is pretty common sense, Secretary, but all the state agencies that provide meals to Oklahomans, whether it be school lunches or in our prisons, to discontinue the use of artificial dyes.
What a home run that is. That, by the way, that's MAHA. Yes, it is. You see that, which is Make Oklahoma Healthy Again. MAHA. Come on, Kennedy's winning. You can say whatever you want. This This man's winning. This is winning, right? This is win, win. This is winning. MAHA, are you kidding me? That's there now. So absolutely working. Now, something else you're missing. This also comes out of hospitals because the state often provides, depends on a hospital, but most hospitals, New York State, all of them, provides food to hospitals too. So now you're in a hospital and you're sick. And what are you getting? Unhealthy food. You're in a prison. You got no choice. Unhealthy food. You're in school. What are you getting? Unhealthy food, right? Because the state's giving you all the food. So your kid's getting this all day long. And what happens if you're in a school district where you're poor? When I grew up, the government gave us all our food, right? We had, where I grew up in the Bronx, in a poor area, for those who don't know, if the area is so poor, they don't bother divvying up who gets free lunch and who doesn't, who gets free breakfast and who doesn't, because it just becomes, if so many get it, it just becomes an administrative problem. Everybody gets it. So it doesn't matter if you're poor or not. If you live in a poor enough neighborhood, you get free breakfast and free lunch in New York City. That's how it works. Even when I was growing up, it was. It's still to this day. But when I was growing up, you did too. So I grew up in the South Bronx. I go to school in the morning with free breakfast. Yeah, just go to school. Go early, and there's breakfast there. I remember it used to be in like tin, was it like aluminum foil type things? You'd open it up, you'd have some milk and whatever, like a fruit or something. I forgot what we had. But anyway, I mean, that is many years ago for me. And you got free lunch. And free lunch and free breakfast every day. I mean, we were eating it 5 days a week. So that's 10 meals a week the government's giving you. What's got in it? It's a big deal. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. So, all right. Did he go on? Was he done?
And we're going to be convening an advisory council to study and recommend other changes that can make and improve the health outcomes across the state of Oklahoma. I'm also instructing the state agencies that provide meals. This is pretty common sense, Secretary, but all the state agencies that provide meals to Oklahomans, whether it be school lunches or in our prisons, to discontinue the use of artificial dyes.
Come on. This is winning. This is winning. Again, even if you disagree, he said he was going to do it, and he's actually doing it. This part going to state by state, I thought was absolutely brilliant. This part to me was totally brilliant, right? And he gets to speak. And here's the best part. Why this is him speaking now. This is why this matters for him. This is where he personally gets more power, and maybe starts to build what I will call some leverage. And you'll probably understand why in a second. Watch how he opens up. And this is great opening by him. Well done.
I'm so thrilled to be here with Governor Stitt today to, make these momentous announcements that are going to make Oklahoma healthy again. Oklahoma is 47th in health in the United States. And that's not a good thing. I'm hoping that when Governor Stitt leaves office in many, many, many years or decades.
Did you hear that? In many, many years or decades. Why does that matter? It means all of a sudden now RFK Jr. has coattails. Having coattails is leverage in politics. It is leverage in politics. Having coattails. Meaning, if I show up and I say vote, I show up and I say help, I show up and say this guy's good, you get more votes. And people start giving you money. That's what matters. This is leverage. This is what RFK Jr. should be doing forever. He's doing it now. It's the smart move for him. Because now you're going to want more people to show up. But we're going to want him to show up. Yeah. Maybe you want J.D. Vance to show up. Maybe you want RFK Jr. to show up. Maybe you're having some trouble overseas and you're worried because if you have someone show up that doesn't want the Iraq war, the Iran war, the Gaza war, Ukraine, whatever, and you don't want that guy showing up. Oh, but you want RFK Jr. showing up because he's talking about healthy kids. Let's get the dyes out of the kid. Boom, boom, boom. Let's do that. You want him showing up? You want this guy at your fundraiser? Yeah, you do. This is coattails. This is something, and he knew it. He was this guy who's going to be in office forever, which of course I don't want, but doesn't matter. He wants it. The governor wants that shit. You know he does. He's like, yeah, you keep talking that trash, RFK. Bobby, keep talking the trash. I'll have you back every week. Yes, that I thought was brilliant. That, I mean, it's like a 2-minute speech, but The only part I cared about was the coattail part. That's why I put that piece. I thought the coattail part was good. This is him now, speaking of coattails. This is him, and this part I think is also amazing. If I can get this piece up. Hold on. This is him on Fox News with the governor. This is coattails. This is Bobby Kennedy Jr. showing that he's got some juice. He got the governor on Fox News. You get the governor on Fox News. Come on now. That's coattails. There it is.
Because the science is very clear on fluoride. The National Toxicity Program issued a report, a meta review of all the science on it in August that said there's a direct inverse correlation between the amount of fluoride in your water and your loss of IQ. So even small increments of fluoride cause loss of IQ, and particularly in babies, in neonates, and in in pre-birth.
My children have only drank the unfluoridated water, like either filtered water, distilled water, always.
Mothers exposed, and those children are getting no benefit because they don't have teeth.
Yep.
Oh, and it's
That
really
is
should be
true.
up to the parents. We have fluoride available. Fluoride made a lot of sense in the 1940s, but today we have fluoride in our toothpaste. We have it available in mouthwash. You can get it.
And that's the point I keep bringing up. People get mad. Larry, he's banning stuff. Why are you? He's not banning stuff. He's not forcing you to get it, to Andrea's point. I'm not saying you shouldn't have fluoride if you like fluoride. Please enjoy fluoride. You want fluoride? Get lots of it. It's in like all types of mouthwashes. It's in most toothpaste, and it's cheap. Not just it's cheap. If you go to any place that is either a shelter that deals with the homeless, if it is a food pantry, any place that gives out stuff, any place, you will get toothpaste with fluoride for free. Free. If you think I'm making it up, just go. That's true. You get it for free. Fluoride you can get for free. If you're like, Larry, I want my fluoride. Awesome. Get it for cheap at the CVS or get it for free at a shelter. Either way, you can get your fluoride as much as you want. Absolutely. He is not saying you can't have it. He is saying, why are we all forced to drink it? Why are we all forced to drink it? And now he's stopping it. It's getting stopped everywhere, as it should be. You should not be forced to drink fluoride. If you want it, go get it. It's cheap and it's even free. If you want it for free, you can get it everywhere. You go to your dentist gives you the fluoride little things when you leave, gives you a little fluoride thing. Take that too, as much as you want. All good. Peace Logic is over on Rumble. Thank you for the $1, my friend. Synchronicity is at hand. I'm flying to Oklahoma July 1st. My lead program and partner for Peace Logic lives there. Maybe I can get an interview with some of the people in the movement there. Let's do that, Peace. It's a good idea. I like that idea. That is a really good idea. So yes, absolutely. It is happening already, right? And this is the wins that I keep seeing. And again, he's there actually getting this governor on Fox News. This is coattails. This matters. This matters for the future of Bobby Kennedy Jr. Whether he decides to run again, whether he decides to stay as HHS secretary for the next administration, doesn't matter, right? You might go, wait a minute. He might not run. I don't know if he's going to run. But let's say he says, I'm doing a good job here. I don't want to run. I want to stay secretary of HHS. And the next person might go, well, no, because when I come in, whatever, J.D. Vance, Vivek, whoever's the next guy who tries to take over from Trump, whoever that person is, goes, no, I want my own guy. Well, he got coattails now. You want me to go campaign for you in Oklahoma, Texas? You want that? I'll go. Am I going to stay HHS? They make that deal. He now has leverage. Oh, you don't want to guarantee me that job? I might have to forget to show up to that fundraiser you wanted. I'm going to have to forget to show up then. See? Whoops. You think I'm joking? No, I'm not. Alexa says, I do see and I love it. Yes, absolutely. Yes. You guys saw what Alexa did. She actually did a super chat, guys. I want to say thank you for that. And if you guys want to get your chat right to the front, you can easily do it by super chatting me on YouTube. Super chat me on YouTube or rant me on Rumble, just as Peace Logic did. It always goes to the front. I appreciate that. If you have not shared this or reposted this now, please do so. If you don't repost this, you want to give kids with no teeth fluoride. That's how bad you are. Don't be bad. That's a terrible thing. Why would you give kids with no teeth fluoride? What's wrong with you? Don't do that. So instead, share or repost this. Your sins are washed away by that action. See that? Easily to do. Also, what you can do is click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. Please click that button. Like, it does matter. Click it. If you click it, people then begin to see this and go, oh, Larry Sharpe is saying cool things about RFK Jr. I should probably follow him. I should do that and watch his stuff. You should. That is the right answer. Please do so. If you would, that would be amazing. So please click the button known as like. But I do have more. You thought, Larry, you've got to be done. No. There's so many wins. I don't know what I'm doing. Hold on. Let me move down to one more. This, if I can, real fast. This one, can I make it here? This is, can I find this? Oh, there's just so many of them. All right. I'm going to scroll through this real fast because there's just so much of it. I'm going to scroll through this piece. This is, again, coming directly from MAHA Pack. I'm going to show you the screen real fast. I'll scroll through it here if I could. This is directly from MAHA Pack. I got so many of these up here. It's insane how many I have up here. So yeah, this is so many. So you can see them all. So you look at those up there, and what you actually recognize is this is all about. That was all about Texas. I mean, I gave you a lot, but it's all about Texas. That's all about Texas. You can see it so much. Make America Healthy Again with the state of Texas doing a bunch of things with Cali means and this bill called SB 25. Warning labels, changing consumption, nothing but good. Following the same rules that are in Australia, Canada, and the EU. That's it. Just following those rules. That's amazing. Just good. All right. This is another one I'm going to pick up if I can. This is him talking. Hold on. This is about what he's trying to achieve with Dr. Oz. He's even giving Dr. Oz stuff. I mean, this is coattails for Dr. Oz now. Dr. Oz was running for Senate. Now you got coattails here too. This is nothing but good.
Thank you, Dr. Oz. During the transition last January, one of the people I was bringing on as a special government advisor was a long-term friend of mine called Jake Levine. And I asked Jake, can you give me an agenda, the most important things that we can do very quickly as soon as we get in there? And Jake called a professor at Harvard named David Cutler, a famous economist who spent an entire career studying the healthcare system and advising reforms.
So I want to make sure you understand this. He was saying, what can we do right away? This, I got to tell you, is the best part. And I'm going to give Trump credit for this, for the Trump campaign. He hit the ground running faster than anybody I've seen. I mean, maybe someone's faster. I haven't seen it. He hit the ground running immediately. He threw everything, full court press. Bobby Kennedy too. They threw everything at it to the best of their ability to get stuff done as fast as possible. It's not a bad deal. Like, I'm glad they did it this way. And I'm seeing right now, RFK Jr. put a lot of stuff in, right? And it's not bad. Kajon says, yep, as long as wearables don't tie to CBDC and credit scores. True, that is a fear. And to be forward, I get Liberty Lady's fear and libertarian fears. I do. I get it. They are real fears. And they're not to be underestimated. We should be very much on board. You are correct. They should not tie into any of that stuff. Nothing government, nothing nationwide. They should only be for you and a local community you may care about, right? Like, you might put wearables. Some people actually do this with wearables. What they do is, I'm not joking, they have like a running group or a workout group, and they link them all together to compete against each other, to keep themselves motivated, right? Who has the lowest this, the highest that, the fastest this, the slowest that. That's fine, right? That's all local people doing stuff that they want to do on their own. No problem. But when you start connecting it to government or to credit scores, I am with you. Phil says wearables are cool because it gives you real-time data and it gamifies health. It does. You're right. I have never worried about my sleep more than since I started wearing one, because it tracks my sleep. And my sleep is garbage. So it's still bad, but it's better. It was worse. And the problem is, if I stay active, I don't recover well if I don't sleep well, which but this actually gives me a percentage of my recovery, how well I'm recovering if I'm active, all those things. So yeah, I have no complaints whatsoever. Kate, thank you so much for the 49. Kennedy, and mockery are closing animal testing labs. More to go, promises kept. Oh, yes, I forgot about that. Thank you for that. Yes. Again, he said it, he's doing it. And again, I want to be very clear. It's politicians should do what they say, whether you like it or not. And you might go, wait a minute, what do you mean? I don't like it. It doesn't matter. If we're going to have our actual, vibrant, real democracy, if we are, we can't have politicians just say stuff and then once they're about to go, well, it was too hard, or here's my excuse, or whatever. No, they have to work for what they say. And the example I'll give is AOC and their when they did not force the vote on Medicare for all. Now, I'm not a Medicare for all fan. Clearly, I'm not. Doesn't matter. AOC's my congressperson. She should have pushed it. Why? Because she talked about it all day on the campaign. She said she would do it. And she didn't. And that's BS. If you're going to say you're going to do it, and we're going to vote for you. I mean, I didn't vote for her, but it doesn't matter. Again, I'm saying this in my own, against my own best interest, against my own political philosophy. I'm saying this because overall, for a healthy nation and a democracy to work in any way, shape, or form, democracies have so many flaws. But for them to actually work, a politician who is voted in has to do what they say. We have to get what we vote for. You cannot like it, then you got to change the system or change the politicians, which I've been trying to do for 8 years. You got to do that. He said he would do it, Kate, and he's doing it. That's a win. Trump said he was going to do the tariffs. He did them. That's a win. Even if you hate the tariffs. I do hate tariffs. Doesn't matter. They need to do what they say. Promises kept is the right answer, Kate. You are 100% correct. Thank you so much for that super chat. Absolutely true.
And he posed that question to Dr. Cutler. He said, what is the single most important thing that we could do to improve the patient experience in this country? We could do very, very quickly without regulations and without legislation. Mm-hmm. And Dr. Cutler immediately said to him, you can convene the insurance companies and get them to voluntarily agree to end the scourge of pre-authorization.
This piece of pre-authorization is huge. This is going to make people get their services faster and cheaper. Now, is it going to be earth-shattering that all of a sudden my bill is cut in half? No, it's not. I'm being forward. It's not going to cut the bill in half. But is it an actual improvement that people will see a difference in the next 3 months? Yes. You will see a difference. It won't be earth-shattering. I don't act like Kennedy just solved all our problems. He didn't, but he made real impact. Your bill is going to be a couple bucks cheaper, and you're going to get your service probably a couple days or a couple weeks earlier. That's going to happen with this. I'm not making that up. You will see it. There will be an improvement. I would ask anyone, when's the last time you remember the federal government making an improvement in this regard? Doing it. Right? Doing it. That piece actually matters. He's doing it. Matt says, so sick of data mining. Now I've learned smart TVs are taking screenshots of what's on the TV like every other second. Oh, I didn't know that. But my issue here becomes, at least if you're doing a wearable, it's voluntary. At least that. I had to actually buy this damn thing. Something. You're right. But the rest, yeah, this gets something out of it. This is one of the reasons why Yang was so popular. Remember, Yang was so popular. One of the reasons why Yang was so popular was because he was talking about us getting paid for our data, right? What did he call it? The, what was it? Data dividend or whatever. I forgot what he called it. Something like that. So yeah, that was one of the reasons why it's popular. People were like, if you're going to take my stuff, pay me, right? You're taking out my data. Just cut me a check at least, something. And I think that people were like, yeah, that makes sense. Because to your point, Matt, they're just taking it. Just taking it. Well, if you're gonna, at least write me a check, something. And I think that was the reason why he was so popular. One of the reasons.
Very early on in the administration, we brought in Chris Klump. And Chris Klump, I'm going to ask Jake and Chris Klump to come up and join me. Chris Klump was a very, very uber successful healthcare entrepreneur from Silicon Valley who
Yes.
specialized in healthcare technology.
Wait a minute. Sounds like the private market could actually help somebody. What?
And in building his company, he had met virtually all of the big insurance CEOs in this and hospital CEOs in this country. And he spent the last several months calling them each up one by one and getting them to agree to this program. And it was an extraordinary effort. I'm so happy for his leadership, for Jake's.
That's networking. That's networking. Yes. Kim says, so states can dictate to the food companies to put toxins in. Those companies are spineless. No. States wouldn't. What the states would do is they could say there's restrictions, right? So California could say, okay, right, you can sell a car in California only if it has X, Y, and Z in it. You can sell cereal in California only if it doesn't have X, Y, and Z in it, or if it does have X, Y, it can do that if it wants to. A state can do that. That's the thing it can do, right? And if that happens, the food companies might go, well, then I'm not going to sell in California anymore. They could do that. That's an option. But California is what, 39 million people? They're not going to do that, right? California is big as a country. So if like Rhode Island says, we're doing this, people might not sell in Rhode Island. They might go, I'm not doing it. Forget it. I'm not selling in Rhode Island. They might do that. It's possible, right? But if the whole country does it, that's the issue. Yes, a state can change its own rules. It can. Absolutely. Yes.
Leadership on this issue. The two of them have been working hand in hand to make this extraordinary day happen. And it's so important for our country because this has been one of the worst things. As Dr. Oz pointed out, 85% of Americans say that they have had delays in healthcare because of prior authorization.
Yes, all the time. In fact, there are expediters for this that you can pay. Of course there are. That's why the wealthy don't have to worry about this stuff. Yes, of course. And this is going to help that. It will be better, right? Liberty Lady says, I know this is off topic, but Dollar Tree, that was $1 pre-pandemic, went to $1.25. Now, citing tariffs, they will raise their prices to $1.50 or $1.75. Love how those tariffs are working. As I keep saying, I'm not saying I'm a fan of tariffs, but a politician should do what that politician says, and we should get what we vote for. And if it sucks, we should learn our lesson and go, damn, that was dumb. We shouldn't have voted for that. But we never get that. We get blame, finger pointing, executive orders. We get everything except what they actually said they're going to do. So, yeah, I get it. I get it. Let me pull this piece off if I could. I have another one. I just want you to see that one little piece right there. And there was another one I want to show if I can. Do I have another one? Okay, yeah. This one is him talking about institutions and the public trust. This is another good one he brings up. There's a bunch of these. By the way, these are all again on MAHA PAC on X. It's MAHA_PAC on X. You can follow them and see all these things. They're giving you all the goodies on what's happening with Bobby Kennedy Jr. If you are a fan, that is the X account to follow. MAHA_PAC.
I'm pleased to have this opportunity to address the Gavi community.
Mm-hmm.
We're living now in a time of upheaval, a time of popular revolt against established institutions that have lost the public trust, and that includes medicine.
Yep.
President Trump.
And that part I want to bring up, right? We have lost a lot of trust in our institutions. He's right. Schools, colleges, government. Yes, we've lost a whole lot. We have lost so much. He's correct. And we have to build it back. And he's saying Trump and he gives Trump a lot of credit, which he should. I'm not mad at him for it, right? Not mad at him for it. They made the deal, good deal. And Trump has said, go do what you want. I'll leave you alone. And a lot of people thought, if you remember, I mentioned this, people thought, well, Trump might screw him over. And I said, it's possible, but I didn't see Trump screwing him over. If you remember what I said Trump will leave him alone. Trump will say, you do your thing. I got a bazillion other things, particularly foreign policy, I got to work on. You handle this. I'm going to go mess with foreign policy. And that's what happened. I knew that would happen. That is what happened. Just leave him alone. But Trump does show up once in a while. Why? To take credit for some of these wins. And again, not mad at him for it. He should. He's letting him go. But Kennedy's got his own. He's just going. It's not bad.
I are committed to earning it back. We will do that by preserving what is honest, what serves our country and the world, and we will sweep away that which is not.
That piece right there is an important piece, right? He's actually saying we're going to make, this is what DOGE was supposed to do. Remember DOGE? That was supposed to do this. It didn't. It's not. Elon's gone now, and that didn't happen. So DOGE didn't do what it was supposed to do. Yeah, that's not a win. Remember how we're going to end the wars? That didn't happen either. Wars didn't end either. Yep, that's not working. How tariffs going to be so great, have all these great deals? Not yet. Look, he still got some time. He said 90 days. I'm going to give him the 90 days. He's got some time. It's true. He's got some time. But all I'm saying is, so far, that's not happening either. Not a lot of wins for Trump right now. A lot of stuff is in the air, kind of sitting there. And again, could he end the wars? Yes, if anybody could, it's him. Not looking so great now. Could the tariffs become great, right? Could they work and you get the great deals? Possible. Not looking great right now. Is RFK looking great? Yes. Yes. RFK is looking great. He just is, right? He's looking great right now. He's getting attention. He's getting stuff done. That part is actually working. So that's all I'm saying. I am seeing that right now. So, all right, let me see if I can grab this here. Monkey Doo says RFK 2028. Well, the advantage is he's going, if he keeps this going, he is definitely going to have influence in 2028, whether it's him running or him picking someone to run or him being a kingmaker, whatever it is. If he keeps this up, he is going to have options. And I think that's the critical piece. So I want to grab one more piece that he mentioned here too, if I could. Let me get to this piece here and grab another one. All right. There we go.
A major concern that I share with the president is how the World Health Organization and Gavi partnered together during the COVID-19 pandemic to recommend best practices for social media companies.
Did you hear that? They got together to handle social media companies. That's called censorship, by the way, in case you didn't know what that was called. Now, here's what I'm going to say, if you're clear about this. If you like what I'm showing you right now, and you'd like to not to be censored and stuff, click the like button, that thing. Lima, India, Kilo Echo, click it. Why are you looking at me? Click the button already. You got to click the button known as like. Lima, India, Kilo Echo. You must click that button so that I don't get censored either. I have been banned shadow like for a long time. Let's undo that by clicking the button known as like. Please do so. If you haven't done it already, I don't know why. Also, do me a favor, share this someplace else. Copy this, paste this someplace else, repost this someplace else, put it in a Facebook group, let your friends know this is happening. Do it right now. If you don't do it, what you're literally telling me is you like censorship. Why do you like censorship? It's terrible. Don't be that way. Censorship's bad. Wipe away your sins. Please do so. And do it that way by reposting this or sharing this someplace. It doesn't matter. If you haven't followed me already on Facebook, X, and Rumble, why do you hate the children? I don't know why you do. So please go ahead and do that if you would. Also, if you have not done so yet, please subscribe to Sharpe Way on YouTube and click all notifications. If you want yours to go to the front, click that rant me on Rumble or super chat me on YouTube. Either of them is great. But if you really want to help out, you can always become a member. $29 per month. Click that join button if you would. Every time someone joins, we get more and more cash. And when you click the join button, that is when a child gets its wish. That's a lie. They don't. I get my wish. I'm not a child. So somebody gets their wish. It's not a kid. It's actually me. So click the join button and give me my wish. You're a wish maker. That's you. You have the power to grant wishes. Do that. Click the join button, $49 per month. And all of a sudden, more of that happens. I can spend less time traveling and working and more time doing these cool things, which I know you all want. So click the buttons that I've been bugging you to click for the past 20 minutes. All right. Speaking of that, let me grab a couple super chats if I could. Ryan, thank you for $2, my friend. Big, horrible, monstrosity bill killed DOGE. Yes. I'll say that too. That big, well, as I'll say what the DOGE monster himself said. He said the bill can be big or it can be beautiful, not both. So it can be a big bill or it can be a beautiful bill. It can't be both. So yes, I think you're right. And that's also in trouble right now. Is that really going to happen? I don't know. That's why he's attacking Massey right now. Rand Paul's all pissed off right now. I'm telling you, will the bill pass? Maybe. Look, I think Mike is counting his chickens before they're hatched. I still think it's in the air. I'm not ready to make a call on this. I think all this is in the air. Again, I still say it. It is possible that by the end of the year, Trump's a hero. That could still happen. And he could be a disaster. Both of them could happen by the end of the year. But I don't think we can answer that question. Yeah, I mean, if you hate Trump, you hate him. He's already a disaster. If you love Trump, you love him. He's always great. I get it. I'm just saying how history will look back at him. He has an opportunity this year for both a horrible failure and be one of the greatest presidents of this century. I think both of those things are true. So we'll see what happens. But yes, I think the bill is in trouble also. Duke of Hex, $2 says Elon damaged his brand by getting into politics. He did. I completely agree. I think hubris got the best of him. I think he thought, I'm successful at all these things. I know how to grift better than anybody. And he is the grift master. He thought, well, I'll just go in there and grift again, which he did. I mean, he's good at grifting, but he's not good at governing. What is that right? Maybe. So Matt, thank you for the $5, my friend. The thing I hate about the BBB or Omnibus Prime, I like that, Omnibus Prime, is they snuck in a provision that bans states from regulating AI for 10 years. Time to do nasty stuff. Well, let me try to defend that in theory. There is a logic behind it. And I understand if you don't like it, but it's not just to do nasty stuff. It isn't. It's based upon fear. And let me explain why. Many people believe, and they may be right. I kind of lean towards this myself. I haven't done enough homework on this, but I'm leaning towards this belief also. AI is the next space race, nuke race, whatever it is. It's the next race. It's AI is not a technology. It's a weapons program. And people are afraid of it. And I get it. They're afraid of it. It's a weapons program. What do I mean by that? The outcome of the future, the next 5, 10 years, whatever that, maybe it's even 3 or 5 years. I don't know. But for the sake of argument, 5 years. I could be wrong on that number. But sake of argument, 5 years. The person or the group or the nation or the government that comes out way ahead might dominate the entire world. AI could dominate the entire world. It will dominate the battlefield within 2 years, maybe 3. It will dominate the battlefield. It will eventually dominate even sea warfare, not just land warfare. It will dominate sea warfare. It will surely dominate space warfare, air warfare. It's already starting to dominate air warfare. That's the first thing it'll dominate. It'll dominate air warfare first, then all the rest. You can see it already. So the video I did about that guy making the fighter drones and the autonomous weapons already. That's all air warfare. Land is next, and then sea. That's all going to start happening already. He's doing sea warfare already. So it's all going to start happening. As that begins to happen, they're worried that what will happen is states will do stupid shit because they do, right? Cities will do stupid shit because they do, right? I mean, still, my daughters who are in school, my youngest daughter is still in school, and the people in her school all the time go, we shouldn't use AI. We have to ban AI. They still say it in her school. That's how backward her school is. That's how backward most government schools are. Oh, you can't use it. It's bad. Don't use it. The world is using it. So to be clear, the second you leave your school, you will be using AI for your job. So let's not use it in school. How insanely fucking stupid is that? But that's our school system. Cause insanely dumb. But that's who they are. So states will do things like ban AI in school, or AI can only do stuff if it gives the government this, whatever the case may be. That is their worry. They do that. The Chinese and the Russians, they don't care. And the Chinese are already ahead of us, right? Or it depends who you talk to. And depends where you are. They could be ahead of us or next to us, but they're in that area. And the Chinese, they're not going to care about somebody banning stuff. They're going to go full on AI. And the worry is that China will dominate us in AI and then dominate us in the battlefield and dominate us in the world, in the market. For those who don't know, already over half of all transactions done across the world in the market are done by AI. Already over half. Eventually, it'll be almost nothing but. AI will dominate the markets. Yes. So AI will decide. So all you do is type in, how do I crush the U.S. bond market? AI does it. Yeah. How do I make sure no one buys U.S. Treasuries? and AI doesn't. Then we're screwed. We can't pay our debts. Yes, that kind of thing could actually happen. This is why they say it, man. You may disagree with that. I'm not saying you're wrong to disagree, but I want to make sure it's not something it's a real fear is why they're doing it. It's a real fear. They know, they say 10 years. Why? Because they know within 10 years, whoever's going to win this war will have already won. Within 10 years, whoever's going to win the AI war will have already won. That's why they're doing it for 10 years. Otherwise, they do it for more, but they know it'll be over by then, right? So it won't matter. Again, not saying you're wrong or right, explaining why they care about it. It's not just bad stuff. It is an actual fear of being dominated by the rest of the world. That's the worry. Kate, thank you for the $2. Matt Gaetz has been on fire, Ray Israel Espin. I got to tell you, Gaetz not being in Congress, he's better. Now he's just yelling and screaming. He's better. I'm with you, Kate. I think he's better not being in Congress. I do so. Yeah, I think so. Rich, my brother, how are you, my friend? Suppressors and short barrel rifles and short barrel shotguns are removed from the NFA with BBB when you're moving to Florida. Okay. I did not know that. Okay. There's some good stuff. I'm with you. Okay. And I'm not moving to Florida. I went to Florida during the lockdowns, by the way, because I didn't want to be locked down up here. So I was in Florida for like 6 months or a year. I forgot how long I was. In Florida for a while. Homeschooled my kid. Moved to Florida for a while because I just didn't want to be in New York City because it was police state. So I went to Florida for a while. But no, I'm not moving to Florida. I might move to New Hampshire maybe one day. I might do that. That's where the free state people go up north, right? I might do that. Maybe. I'm considering it. But I might be running for governor next year. Who knows? I can't leave New York State yet. I might be doing a governor run. Then what? Can't run for governor out of Florida. And literally can't. New York State is brutal when it comes to residential. You have to have lived in New York State for 12 years or you can't run for governor. 12 years. They don't play. So yes. Phil says, will Trump ever have a budget that isn't thick? Here is what I will say, Phil. And I said this earlier this year, and I said it in November after he won. I will judge Trump's economic policies in that regard by whether or not next year's budget is actually equal to or lower than this year's. People thought he was going to have a low budget this year. I didn't think so. I thought it was impossible. The ability to change the budget this year, I felt was impossible. I think it was real. It's just everyone's got their hand out. The grift is everywhere. I didn't think it could happen, and it didn't. I didn't expect it to be forward. Some people did. I didn't expect it. I had very low expectations. Remember when Musk says, "Oh, I'm going to cut $2 trillion." I said, "No way he's cutting $2 trillion. Not going to happen." I said, "I'd be blown away if he could cut $1 trillion." I said, "I'd be happy with $500 billion." Remember that? I said, "I'm happy, $500 billion." I would have called DOGE the greatest thing ever hit government ever if he had actually cut $500 billion off of our budget. That'd been amazing. He said $2 trillion. I knew that was garbage. And then everyone else is like, he's going to cut the budget. That's not going to happen. But next year, if he has not cut at equal or less than this year's budget next year, that's a failure. That's a loss. That's a failure. So will Trump ever have a budget that isn't thick? My guess would be no, but I hope the answer is yes. And I'm going to give him next year to do it. Ryan, thank you for the $5. My goober of a Congressman, Jason Smith, is the one promoting the BBB all over conservative media. He is more embarrassing than AOC. People do love the triple B. They do. They love it. Well, here's the problem, right? According to the plan that I understand, if I understand it correctly, the tariffs have to work in conjunction with the BBB or the tariffs fail, right? That's supposedly what I've heard. I don't know if that's actually true. I thought the tariffs had to work with the new trade deals. And then that with the BBB is what actually made the success. And we're going to have great economy next year. That's what I thought he said. I'm not sure I buy any of it, Ryan. I got to tell you, I'm not sure I buy any of it. John says, thank you for the $10, John. Larry, I operated a robot dog today. Pretty cool stuff. Yes, it is. AI pets are already here. AI boyfriends and girlfriends are already here. Robot dogs and robot people are already here. Robot people are already in factories already, and robot dogs for pets already exist, and robot dogs for warfare already exist. Literally like machine gun turret dogs, robot dogs. Yes, already exist. Matt says, "Leave me $2. Is there any way to stop having 485 things in one bill?" Yes and no. Yes, you could. You just do. It's a single issue voting bill, which is what you should do. If you remember back in the day, it was Herman Cain. Was it Herman Cain? Yeah, I think it was Herman Cain. He said no bill should be longer than 3 pages long. Now, that's an exaggeration. I think that was kind of silly, and it was kind of, it was kind of jokey, kind of performative. But the concept was a great the idea of that is a great idea. That clearly is not the right number. But I would have a very simple number. I'm not joking. Take the Constitution, put it standard 12-point, double-spaced, however long that is. That's the longest a bill can ever be. Done. If your bill is longer than the Constitution, it's a bad bill by default. You can't be a bit longer than the Constitution. It's the Constitution. You can't be longer than that. Sorry. Well, Larry, then I can't put enough pork and grift in it. Yes, that's correct. You can't put enough pork or grift into it. Yes, you should make a rule that any bill that comes to Congress has to be on 8 by 11.5. Is that what it is? 8 by 11.5 paper. Must be 12-point. Must be double spaced. Must be. And if it is longer than the Constitution, it is by default no. Cannot be a bill. It cannot be accepted. Make that a law. Make it an amendment. Add another page to the bill. Make an amendment. Can't do it. That'll change everything. What the font must be, what the paper must be. If it's longer than that, no good. That solves your problem too. So yes, or just single. Problem is you do single issue bill, then people go, well, what's a single issue? Just say it can't be longer than the Constitution. Done. That's it. If it's longer than the Constitution, and you say you don't let them squish it all up, right, into 2-point, right, and then paper that's as big as a mountain. You tell them it's got to be 8.5 by 11, 12-point, double spaced. If it's bigger than the Constitution, it's by default. You may not vote on it ever. Done. Change everything. You can't have a 2,000-page bill anymore. Those go away. That means you could actually read the bill. So, yeah, there is a way, but the reason why is it no? Because they'll never do it. They'll never do it. You got to be able to hide your grift. The goal is to make it to where the people reading it cannot read it. That's the goal. What did Nancy Pelosi say? We have to pass it to know what's in it. That's the goal. They want that. Right? That's a feature, not a bug. That's a feature, not a bug. So, yes. All right, let me grab a little bit more of this if I could.
To silence dissenting views, to stifle free speech and
True.
legitimate questions during that period.
Yep.
In addition, Gavi has continued to make questionable recommendations encouraging pregnant women to receive COVID-19 vaccines. A major concern that
Yes. These are the types of things that people are talking about now. And no, I don't want that. So Matt says, all the kids going to cavities now. Maybe, but there's a way of making sure your cavities, you have less cavities. You know what that is? It's keto, because keto's magic. True. True. There we go. Phil says keto party. Yep, he knew it was coming. He knew it was coming. Absolutely, he knew it was coming. Yes. Gary, how are you, sir? He says, when Larry was fighting possible Cuomo, not as easy. Oh, okay. But now Mom Dami won the ballot. I think Larry should run for New York City. I'm not running for mayor. I've got so many people reaching out to me telling me to do this. I got like 4 texts. I got DMs. I'm not doing it, guys. I'm not. It is. What is. Okay. Couple things. To be forward, Gary, I'm not mad. I'm happy you said it. Thank you. Happy you said it. Thank you. I'm not mad at it. I'm just going to explain. I am far more popular by percentage across the state than I am in New York City. The odds of me having impact are far better across the state than New York City. Plus, New York City mayor is not as powerful as you might think. The governor controls a whole lot and can even remove you. Remember, New York City is 5 boroughs, which means 5 counties, which means everything covers multiple counties, which means the state can step in all the time. Not just that, a big chunk of New York City's infrastructure crosses states. Right, our MTA goes into New Jersey. MTA goes into Connecticut. Some of our bridges go into New Jersey. So that means the feds can step in all the time. That's why the feds always need something. It's not as powerful as you might think, right? And it's also where people's careers go to die. You become mayor of New York City, you're finished. You're finished. That's where your career dies. I appreciate it. Not going to happen. Maybe I'll run for governor. But look, if everyone's scared of Mamdani, two things. One, if Mamdani wins and he actually enacts what he's going to enact, New York City deserves what it gets. Maybe we'll finally learn a lesson. I mean, maybe not, but maybe we will. But not just that. A bunch of wealthy donors right now, as I talked about this in my show 2 days ago. Yesterday. Talked about my show yesterday about this. A bunch of people are going to start raising money to give to Adams now. Adams is going to be the new savior. Or maybe Cuomo still, possible, but I don't think so. I think Adams is going to be the new savior. And they're going to throw money at him and see Adams can win. That'll be it. The Republicans in New York City are broken. They're not prepared to do anything. They weren't ready for this at all. And they never are. So, yeah. Peace Logic over on Rumble. Thank you for the $1, my friend. Says, I'm happy that dyes are being removed. But we need to make it clear that all these cereals and the products remain horrible and ultra-processed, even with dyes removed. Do not eat. Agreed. However, this is the first step. The first step is getting people to even think that they're bad, right? That's the first step. If you see now, a lot of people are starting to talk about this. Do I want this? Should I do this? How do I do this? Should I be eating this? Should I not be eating this? I'm a big fan of people cooking. Why? Because all of a sudden the meals are better? Not by default, but I think they wind up being that way. Why? Because if you're someone who actually prepares your own meals, if you are someone who does that, you start thinking about what you're buying. You're thinking about ingredients. You're thinking about what I'm eating. You might even read the label because you go out and buy things that you want to buy and put together. I think it's much better than ordering, eating out. And I know a lot of people eat out. I live in New York City. I know people who almost never cook. Almost never. Like every meal is either out or being ordered in. Or is a fast thing they just, eat out of the fridge or freezer. I know a lot of people who don't cook. And it is not good because they don't know what's in their food. They don't care about their food. It's a common problem. So, peace, I'm with you, but I think we have to baby step this. You're right. We have to baby step this because there are a lot of people who just don't get this at all. So, yes. Henry says, if Florida is so great at preventing cavities, then why do I have so many dentists? There we go. Probably because we eat too much sugar. Probably that. Yes. Yeah. Too much sugar. Liberty Lady goes, and Andrew, I'll add, why do people still have cavities? Too much sugar. Sugar. Yes. Sugar is the evil group here. It's sugar. So yes. All righty. Let me keep going down here if I can. I grabbed a bunch of those. I grabbed that one. Good. All right. Let me grab one more of these. Okay. Patty says, in 1945, the first trial of water fluoridation was begun in Newburgh, New York State. Oh, I didn't know that. Look at that. New York special yet again. I love it. Peace Logic over on Rumble, another $1. I want a robot dog with all the accessories. Human bodyguards will become obsolete. Man's best friend has evolved. Woof. That would be cool, right? If you had a robot dog, guard dog. That's kind of cool. I like that idea. Yeah, let's do that. That's good. All right, let me grab one more of these if I can. I think I have one or two more of these. All right, here's one thing that he says, which he's positive about this. So he does say things that are positive. He's not just being negative. He's trying to be as open as he can be with these groups, which again, I'm not against. I think he's a politician. He's got to be a politician.
Having said that, there's much that I admire about Gavi, especially its commitment to making medicine affordable to all the world's people.
Yes.
Gavi has done that part of its job very well. Unfortunately, in its zeal to promote universal vaccination, it has neglected the key issue of vaccine safety. When vaccine safety issues have come before Gavi has treated them not as a patient health problem, but as a public relations problem.
And that's the issue. That's the issue. I want to be clear. What he's been trying to do is simply make them accountable and give you the option and the choice. That's it. And then people go, he's taking our vaccines away. That's not a thing. That is fear-mongering. That is garbage, not true. He's saying you don't have to. You can if you want. He's not taking it away. If you want all of the jabs, get all of them. No worries. Get the ones that you think are right for you and your health. That's what he's been talking about. That's the issue.
Having said that, there's much that I admire about Gavi, especially its commitment to making medicine affordable to all the world's people. Gavi has done that part of its job very well. Unfortunately, in its zeal to promote universal vaccination, it has neglected the key issue of vaccine safety.
So I just want to make sure you were clear on that piece. I do appreciate that. Matt says, by the substitution property, that means if you don't click the like button, you willfully want to lower kids' IQs. True. True. Why are you guys so mean? Click the like button. Why do you hate kids? I don't know why you hate kids so much. What do they do to you? Leave them alone. Even if you don't want to have kids, don't have kids, but don't hate them. What do they do to you? Nothing. You mean people. Why are you guys so damn mean? So, all right. Let me grab this last piece if I could. It's the last one I want to grab. I don't know what he's talking about. Hold on. He is now talking about how to make, he's now talking about what I love, which is accountability. The accountability piece here, to me, is one of the most important pieces. It's what DOGE was supposed to do, but did not do.
I call on Gavi today to re-earn the public trust and to justify the $8 billion that America has provided in funding since 2001.
Yep.
And I'll tell you how to start taking vaccine safety seriously. Consider the best science available, even when the science contradicts established paradigms.
Yep.
Until that happens, the United States won't contribute more to Gavi. Define success not just in terms of the number of vaccines delivered, but on their rigorously measured overall impacts.
Yep.
Business as usual is over. Unaccountable and opaque policymaking is over. I invite all of you to join us in a new era of evidence-based medicine, gold standard science, and integrity. Thank you very much.
Now, people are saying he's the bad guy. Maybe he is. Maybe he's the bad guy. But then where's the good guy saying that? I'll go back to what I always say. What I always say, if people have the opportunity of a bad plan or no plan, they take the bad plan. So if you think his plan is bad, I would ask you, where's your plan? Where is your plan to have accountability, to not be opaque, to understand where $8 billion goes? Where's your plan? And what your answer will be, I know it because I've heard it all the time. He's crazy. That's your answer. Doesn't work. Never works. Doesn't work. You should stop it. But you won't. You just yell, he's a nut. That's what you'll yell. Great. And he's in charge doing this, and you'll just yell, he's a nut. Where's your answer? You have none. Give the answer, and then we're fine. That's it. What's your answer? Well, how are you going to fix this? I don't know. There we go. Phil says, as a Greek Orthodox man, Larry supporting a Turk? I guess yes. So yeah, fine. Yes, absolutely. Kim says, RFK is simply a genius. He is smart enough to ask questions and ask those who have answers. You know, the thing that I think is happening, Kim, to be forward with you, and I think it's why he ran a little bit late compared to others, is I think he learned a lot when he got in there. That's my thought process. And I have some inside knowledge. Sometimes I tell you I have no inside knowledge. Sometimes I tell you exactly what I know what happened. In this case, I have some knowledge into this. Things didn't go as easy. How to say that? Things didn't go as easily as he had planned. That's what I'll say. I feel comfortable saying. They didn't go as easily as he had planned. And he had to make a lot of kind of side steps, jumps. Okay, that's not going to work. As I've said 1,000 times, the establishment has not gone away. Trump did give it a hard blow, a hard punch, hit it hard. That's true. 100% it's true. He gave it a hit. Didn't go away. Still there. Still fighting it. So's Bobby Kennedy Jr. He's still fighting it. So it's not gone. Big hit, wobbled, fallen down, not finished. So he's still fighting it. And I think he thought, oh, I'm going to walk in. It's good. All right, we got this. And he didn't have it. And he had to make some shifts and adjustments. And I think he's learning from that. That's just my view. And I have some inside knowledge. I feel comfortable saying that. I do have some inside knowledge on that. I feel comfortable saying that. He's had to make some changes. So yes, absolutely. Gary says, which do you agree with more? One, it's not just a good idea, it's the law. Or it's not just the law, it's a good idea. It's not just a good idea, it's the law. It's not just the law, it's a good idea. I'm not, was that for me? I'm not sure where that's going. Do I agree with more? I think they could be completely separate, right? Laws can be good ideas and laws can be bad ideas. But generally speaking, if it's a good idea, why do you require force? Generally speaking, if it's a good idea, why do you require force? Right? I don't know. Kajon says, Fauci must be losing sleep over his puppy experiments being taken away from him. He's a mess, I'm sure. And RFK Jr.'s already come out saying he's not against trying to somehow punish him. Now, obviously, he's got a pardon, so you can't do that, but there may be other ways of punishing him. So he's actually trying to do that if he can. Yeah. Missy is pushing a Sharpe Way merch. Thank you so much, Missy. There is Sharpe Way merch if you want some. Head over to the Zazzle store, Zazzle.com. Put in Sharpe Way or put in Larry Sharpe, and you will see merch there. It is there. Stuff from when I ran for governor, stuff with the Sharpe Way show. You can enjoy them all. There is a mug there. It's on sale right now if you want to. And you go, Larry, that mug, it's a good price, but I could get it cheaper. You could, but you can't get a Sharpe Way mug cheaper, and it won't support the show, would it? So there we go. Kim says, if I had a wearable, my sleep would catch it on fire. My sleep is terrible. I don't really sleep. I take several naps, about 90 minutes each, about 5 to 6 if I'm lucky. Well, the advantage of that, Kim, is if you decided to wear a wearable and it showed you exactly where and how, it also can, using AI, give you advice on how to change your sleep. What are you eating? In fact, mine is a diary. Like literally, I can type in it. Mine doesn't show up. I didn't want one that, you can get one that shows up on your wrist. Mine doesn't. I have to go to my phone, right, to actually do it. I have to go to my phone to actually look and see what I want when I look at it. And it will actually say, try this. When are you having caffeine? When did you eat? How were you sleeping, right? When did you do this? When did you exercise? It'll go down the road and you can look, oh, that's why I'm not sleeping well, because of this, because of that. It will also give you ideas on what's your intake. Are you eating something that you shouldn't be eating? Are you breathing in something you shouldn't be breathing? Is it possible you have a condition that might affect you? So again, it may not give you all the answers, but it'll give you a bunch of things to think about. You probably could find the answer as to why your sleep isn't so good. It has helped me is all I can say, Kim. It has helped me make it better. That's what I would say. So yes. Kate says, Larry, took a few minutes and a few phone calls. Shows how little Congress do for you. Yeah. True. Yes. So, but by the way, Missy, thank you so much for that. Missy goes on to say, highlight your comment or question for Larry to read live by doing a super chat. Yes, you guys have been doing it. Thank you so much. Don't stop. It moves you first in line. It does. So please do it if you can. Super chats and rants always help, but clicking the button on his like, boy, is that amazing. So if you can do that, please do that. That is always the thing that helps the most. I always appreciate that. So, okay, let me grab a couple more of these if I can. All righty. Let's see if I can grab this. People talking about mattresses. Okay. I happen to love firm mattresses. I can sleep on the floor. I love firm mattresses. I can sleep on the floor literally. I'd love that. It's amazing. 100%. It's always good. If you're having trouble sleeping, one of the things you can do is lift your legs like the old beds that cradle you like that. It's why some people you'll find when they get older and have trouble sleeping, they will very often sleep in a reclining chair. Why? Because it lifts your legs and lifts your head, puts you in that like fetal position, but up versus the fetal position on a side. So you do that like that. You very often increase the odds of you sleeping better and actually putting out more, sleeping deeper. That's the odds. It does make that happen. So yeah, there we go. That's the thing that help. I mean, it doesn't always help, but I've heard that many times. So anyway, let me keep going if I can. All righty. Let's see here. John says, lots of ifs for Trump if he were to govern like a libertarian. Lots of ifs for Trump if he were to govern like a libertarian. I'm not sure where you're going with that, but there are a lot of ifs right now. Look, if you don't like Trump, he's a failure. You hate him. He sucks. He's terrible. I get it. You don't like Trump. And I know people who are like, oh, just take big dumps on him, call him names. I get it. I see it all the time. Yes, as people who just kill, oh, he's the greatest. He wins always. But I don't see it that way. I see it as it's up in the air right now. If he is able to, and I'm not saying he will, but I think it's still possible to actually solve these wars by the end of this year, if he can do it, I think he'll be a hero if he can do it. If he can actually stop the Ukrainian war this year and make both sides be, satisfied by peace. If he could stop the Gaza war and the Iranian war right now, if he could do it and make all sides happy, I don't know if he can do it. He said overnight, remember that garbage. I said, I hope by this year. If he can do that, I think he'll look great. I do. And some of you hate Trump, I know, but if he can do it, amazing. I'm not sure he can. And if the economy doesn't go well, and if the tariffs don't work out well, you will find people turn on him. If Iran war explodes, if it does, again, I hope it does not. I don't want it to. If it does, you will see cracks in MAGA. You will see it. You will see cracks in MAGA. Now, again, he has a chunk of people who will support him no matter what. He has it, and that's a good thing for him. Again, the advantage of that is if he changes his mind and shifts and adjusts, his people will follow him. That's an advantage. Again, those of you who don't like him, you don't like that, but it's still true. It's an advantage. If the people will just shift and go, oh, okay, we're doing that now? Yeah, good for him. So, Phil over on Rumble, thank you so much for the rant. The NATO chief called Trump daddy? Hilarious and true. Does RFK use flattery to get stuff done? Should he? Yes. And yes, of course. Why do you think constantly RFK Jr. invokes Trump's name when it comes to successes? Is Trump actually doing any of this? No. I don't think Trump knows what's happening most of this stuff. Trump has got so much crap he's dealing with. He's sitting there looking at what die gets, Trump don't care about that. I'm not trying to insult Trump with that one. I'm not. Biden didn't know what planet he was on. So I'm not trying to insult anybody with that. The reality of it is Trump said it. He said, I'm going to give it to Bobby Kennedy and I'm just going to let it go. And that's what he's doing. So the fact that Bobby Kennedy keeps going, and thanks to President Trump and blah, 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 it's brilliant. Trump wants to hear that. He needs wins. He wants the press to hear that. The administration needs wins. Bobby Kennedy's just giving him free wins. Here's another win, take it. Here's a win, take it. That's all he's doing, which is brilliant, right? Why would Trump want to get rid of him? And now what happens if all of a sudden he starts fighting with somebody? Maybe he's fighting with whatever. He's fighting with Steve Miller or whatever, right? I have no idea if that's true. I'm making that up completely. I have no idea if that's true. I'm making it up. He's fighting with Stephen Miller. And Miller's like, get rid of RFK. He's a bad guy, whatever. Trump's going to say, how many wins you gave me this week? Huh, Steve? How many you give me? You gave me none. He gave me 2. I get rid of somebody, it's going to be you. That's what Trump's going to say. So, yes to your question, Phil. Of course he's using flattery. He should. He is. It makes sense. Because now Trump's going to say, I'm getting wins every week off this guy. How about you? Where's my win off for you, Steve? Last time I saw you were yelling on Fox, making me look dumb. Nah. I'm keeping him. Keep your mouth open. You'll be gone. That's what you're going to say. DM says, Trump is an ex-assaulter who lies on phone reports at work. Now effed up Iran. Things will be worse. It's possible, DM. I hope you're wrong. That's what I'm saying. I hope that, because if Iran is worse, it affects all of us. But it's possible. I'm not saying you're wrong. It's possible. I hope not. I don't want him to screw this up. I don't. DM goes on to say, RFK should disappear in retirement. No, he's getting wins. What are you talking about? Who was talking about dies before him? Who was talking about accountability or the FDA and how many millions is killed before him? Nobody. You wrong, DM. You wrong. Nobody was talking about this. Nobody was. No, it was about American health. Thanks to him, states across this country are going to start pulling garbage out of our kids' food. What are you mad because he doesn't like the jab? Okay, the jab, get the jab anyway, taking it away. He's not going to make it mandatory for you. Get one. No one's stopping you. Get all of them. Say you would like all of them. Get them all. It's fine. They're not going away. He's stopping people to force it, and he's making the kids healthy. He's addressing the chronic illness. No one's addressed this. DM, you are wrong. I'm glad you're still here. Please stay. I'm just saying, you're wrong on this. I get you're mad because the jab. I got it. You could still get it. Get as many as you want. No one's stopping you. Nobody's stopping you. Absolutely. Just saying. So, all righty. Let's keep going down here. Kim goes, I'm worried about RFK being permanently deleted. He's a serious threat. There's an advantage, though, Kim. The advantage is right now the press is not putting so much on him. So, yeah. And he's doing a thing that's important. He is gaining leverage, which is a good thing, because there can be some people who don't want him to go away. If that makes any sense. And right now, Trump does not want him to go away. Again, he's giving Trump victories. Trump don't want him to go away. So generally speaking, they don't want him to go away right now. He's showing his value, right? Because he's getting wins. So right now, they don't want him to go away. So I'm with you, but yeah. Phil, thank you for the $1 over on Rumble. Rumble rants are so cheap. I missed the YouTube chat. Be right back. Larry has built a solid culture. Chats are built. They don't come from nowhere. Oh, Phil, that was very sweet. I appreciate that. I hope I have created a good enough group here that we feel comfortable talking and saying things, even when you guys insult me sometimes and say stuff like that. So yes, I appreciate that tremendously. Rich says, liked. Thank you. I need more people to do so. Please do that. DM says, Elon was a goofball all along, just born rich. I think you're right. He was a goofball. I think he still is. That's true. It doesn't mean he can't do some things that are good, right? Even goofballs can. But I think you're right. He's a goofball. And being born rich doesn't necessarily make you a bad person. I mean, you could be. But there's poor people who are bad people. I'm not sure it's necessarily a bad thing. But I think you're right. He's a goofball. True. Mike Wow says, DM. Well, that was not to me. Sorry. Well, that certainly is the MSNBC take, not really shared by anyone outside Blue Sky, as though they refute that, but thanks for the feelings. Well, there's an issue, right? You look at places like MSNBC and CNN and Fox News, and you tend to get it's corporate media, right? You get the more mainstream of the view. You get the mainstream Republican view. You get the mainstream Democrat view. MSNBC gives you a further left Democratic view, but still not hardcore left. But yeah, I think it's true. Yeah. And people believe it. I mean, people watch it and they believe it, right? So yes. Matt says, every time Larry's membership button rings, an angel gets its wings. Oh, that'd be sweet, but no. But you do have the power of you're the wish master. Yes. You're the wish master. Yep. All righty. All right, if I grab this. Oh, DM's getting mad and attacking people. All right, what are you going to do? So, Shelly, when Trump says big and beautiful in the same sentence, I presume he's talking about his own body parts, and likely not true. Nice. I like that. Very good. Absolutely. DM says, Matt Gaetz is an attention whore. Who means that? Wow, you're mad. Okay. Yes, I think he is an attention whore. That's true. But again, I'll say the same thing. It doesn't mean you can't be valuable, right? I think many people who do this kind of thing, I do it too. I like attention too, right? So I'm doing this, of course. I've been bugging you to click the like button, DM. Please click the like button, right? I'm doing it. I'm telling you, give me a super chat. I'm doing it too. It doesn't mean you don't provide value though. My point, DM, is you're doing the insult thing, right? You hear me say all the time. The right distracts, the left dismisses. You're doing dismiss thing, right? So you're dismissing guests because he's a attention whore, so don't listen to him. You're doing the same thing with Elon Musk. Oh, he's rich, so he's no good. So you just dismiss them. But that's not effective, right? The left starts with the insult, the right ends with the insult. So the left will always try to dismiss first, and you're just doing it. You're clearly left leaning. Oh, that's why you do this. It's not an insult. It's the way it is, and I say it on the show all the time, don't I? You guys who've been watching the show, I say it all the time. The left dismisses, the right distracts. That's how it works. And so he's an attention whore, or he's dumb, or whatever. It's just an attack. But you haven't dealt with the actual argument or said if they're actually right or wrong, or expressed why they're right or wrong. I try my best here. I don't always do it right, to be forward. I try my best here to always explain why something's happening, even if I disagree. And I try very hard to explain when I think I'm right or wrong and why. I try to. Even if I'm angry and I want to insult somebody, and I do sometimes, I'm human. But if I insult, I then still explain. Right? So I'll still explain even if I insult. I try not to insult, but even if I do, I try to explain. So I'm not saying Matt Gaetz is intentional. I'm not saying that at all. I think he is. But he can still be savvy and cool and smart sometimes with some things he says. He can be. He can be charismatic even sometimes. He can be. He has been in the past. Doesn't take it away from him. So let me grab another one of these if I can. Oh, thank you. Phil, thank you. Gifted a Sharpe membership. Guys, thank you. Remember, take a membership if you can. Remember the rules on this. DM, you can take one of these too. If you want to, feel free to be a member if you can grab one. The issue here, remember, the rules are if you made $20 million in 1 year, you may not take a membership. 19 million is fine. 19.5 is fine. Just not 20 million or more. 21 million, no. 22 million, no. Over 20 million, you cannot take a membership. Under 20 million, please take one. If you made $20 million, if you did in 1 year, don't be cheap. Pay the $499. You made $20 million. What are you doing? Give me the $499. That's it. I guess I'm an attention whore too, DM. Guilty as charged. No complaints though. All good. At least I'm honest about it. Something, right? Do I get points for that? DM? Maybe not. Anyway, maybe I do. We'll see. Any case, so yes, please do that if you could. I appreciate it. So there we go. All righty. Let me grab this if I can. Flying Rich, thank you, says the BBB is many times longer than the Constitution. I agree. The BBB is many times longer and should not be. I am not a fan of this. I'm not a fan of that. I think we should make all of them much easier. Yes. Yes. 100%. Kintsugi says, is it easier for kids to cheat with AI? I needed it back then. It is easier, 100%. But the point is, Kintsugi, if you're going to do this, schools are supposed to, I mean, they're not, but they're supposed to be able to react to the real world and prepare our kids for the real world. They don't, but they're supposed to. And if you do that, then you find a way. I don't know how you do it. You find a way for you to use AI in a way that makes sense for the real world. Now, do I have to know an answer? Maybe, maybe not. I don't have to. I'm not an educator. Educators should be able to figure this out. That's their job. Well, in theory, they don't do it. But, you know, there it is. So they're supposed to. So Kim says, AI is dangerous. It's already telling us what it wants us to know. True. True. Polo says, AI is changing how we code and program. It's inevitable. It will change the face of the arms race. True. Banning it is stupid. True. It's already here. I bet the Chinese students are learning it. Yes. I have my kids learning it now. Now, my kid's in school, and her school tells her, don't use it. It's dumb. I say, I don't care what your school thinks. Your school's fucking stupid. AI is the future. If you are not using AI now, you are making an error. You don't have to use it. But if I'm sorry, I should be clearer. If you are planning on being in the workforce now, if you're planning on being in the workforce, doesn't matter. But if you're planning to go into the workforce now, I should say that. That's a big caveat. If you're saying, I want to be in the workforce, I'm going to the workforce, and you're not using AI, you're being silly. It is going to be part of the workforce without question. It's how it works. I have my kids on it now every day. Every day. Some of you liked that. You mentioned you liked my thumbnail. That was AI. I use it every day. It is the way it should be done. It has to be. And I am 100% sure Chinese students are learning it. Some American students are. Sorry. Wealthy kids are learning it. Wealthy kids are. The college students in their big schools are all using AI. Of course they are. They're learning how to use it. Of course they are. It's the average government school who's not using it. Why? Because AI is going to replace teachers. That's why they don't want it. It's replacing their jobs. AI is going to get rid of AI is going to get rid of all of those administrators. Not all, I'm exaggerating. A bunch of administrators and a bunch of teachers going to. Because what is the only thing that in every single case has shown improvements in education outcomes? Private tutors. Every single time it's introduced, every single time it improves outcomes. What does AI do very well? Private tutor. Yep, how it works. So yes, it is insane. We have to find a way. And Kim, you're right, it's dangerous. Then we have to find answers. You're not wrong, but we can't just go, oh, it's dangerous, shut it down. It's dangerous. How do we control it, right? To be forward, many things we use are dangerous, right? Many things. Gasoline is dangerous. Electricity is dangerous, right? Nuclear power is dangerous. We got to figure out a way to do it safely. And that's not easy, but damn it, that's our job. Kim, you're right, but we can't just give up. You can't just give up. That's the issue. Peace, thank you for $2 over on Rumble. Larry, what conclusions have you arrived at with the jab? The more research, I understand Bobby's concerns. Anti-V is not really an accurate label. I'm still digging into the data. It's not easy. Yes, when it comes to the special Corona beer jab, that one, the Fauci ouchie, when it comes to that one, we know it doesn't do what they said it would do. We know this already. If you don't think that's true, do your own homework. It doesn't stop the spread. What it does well, we know this already. This is just data that we know. What we know is if you get it, you will have a better outcome. The odds are you will have a far better outcome if you got the ouchie. That's true. The data is in. So if you get it, whatever outcome was going to happen, the odds are very high. You will have a far better outcome if you get it. That's true. But it didn't stop the spread or getting the infection at all. That's not really a VAX. It's not that. It is a treatment, which is okay. I'm not mad at it. It's treatment. So if you want the treatment, get it. If you want the preventative, get it to prevent the damage. Get it. I'm not against the stick. I'm against saying a 12-year-old kid should get it. A pregnant mom should get it. A baby should get it. I'm going to give you some data that you may or may not like, but it's true. The number of healthy kids who were deleted by that virus in America, 0. I'm not making it up. The kids who did pass from that, all of them that did pass, had at least 2 comorbidities. Well, if you got 2 comorbidities, you might want it because the outcomes for you are going to be catastrophic. I get that. That makes total sense, right? You might make the decision. And you and or your family should make the decision. You go, wait a minute. You got 2 comorbidities? Let's get the ouchie because it could be the end for you. We've decided that makes the right sense for us. Okay, get it. No one's stopping you. But for you to go, all the kids need to get it. That was criminal. Let me say it again. That was criminal. And there are still people to this day who are like, that was the greatest thing in the world. That was how it should work, blah, blah, blah. And you are utterly incorrect. Utterly incorrect. That was terrible. That was the wrong thing to do. Forcing people was bad. Michael says, after your show about AI war, I don't understand why who controls the AI controls the world. I now understand why who controls the AI controls the world. What if AI ends up in control of itself? You mean Skynet? Yeah, that is the problem. This goes to Kim's point. Kim's right. I'm not saying she's wrong. Kim is correct. I'm just saying we have to find an answer for it. We just go, ban it. Because China's not banning it. So we have to accept that what Kim said is correct, because it is. And then now find the problem. And then find the problem. Find the solution for it. That's the issue. So yes. Grand Rapids, you've come back, my friend. I'm glad you're here. Hey, if Mamdani gets New York City, they could rip off the AI tech and institute Sharia. Just thought, but I'm just an ape. Well, we're all kind of apes in a way. Rip up the AI. Oh, is it rip off or rip? I think what you're saying is get rid of it and put in. Okay. I know you just want to insult Muslims because Muslims, I got it. I got the joke. The reality of it is New York City's not going Sharia. America's not going Sharia. It's not a thing. It's a good fear technique. It's not going Sharia. Not going to happen. It's not a thing. It's not a thing. Have you seen our nightlife? That's just fear mongering, my friend. Just fear mongering. I'm glad you're here, by the way. Kintsugi says it's going to make people lazy thinkers, maybe. I remember before you actually had to go to the library and read books and research, but times have changed. Maybe. And here's another way of looking at it, Kintsugi. Maybe. Or maybe it gets us to a secondary level. Hear me out. Maybe if I wanted to research something, and what I've used AI for many times is I have a concept that I think is true and I want data to back it. Like, I know that my libertarian concepts make sense in my head. Sorry. I know my libertarian concepts make sense in my head. It doesn't mean I have data to back them up or have any proof of it, right? I can just say, I think it's cool. Nice, but doesn't mean anything. So how can I figure out How does this thing make sense? With the right prompt into the right AI, it can give me the data points that I need, and I can then research from that. So I become a better researcher because I might not have thought of this or thought of that, right? So it makes me a better researcher when I'm looking for things. So it could actually make me more broad in understanding things, where I would have to think about what am I looking for, and I might miss something, right? In my head, I might think, oh, it's so simple. So I cover point A and B. But AI says, well, also C and D. What AI will also do is, I'm a libertarian. So I'm going to assume that my libertarian views are correct. Of course, I'm going to assume this. And I may not be able to see the opposition as well as I should. There may be obvious opposition that's going to slap me right in the face that I can't see because of my own biases, right? But if I use AI, AI doesn't care. It'll tell me, this is how they're going to smack you in the face. Oh, yeah, I didn't think about that one. Now I got to find data to back that up. So could it also make me actually a better thinker? Or could it make me even a better debater? I think it could do all of that. So yeah, it could be all those. So Matt says, man, y'all should watch Candace's new episode today. She exposed how lobbies, in the case of Israelis, how they've been playing tons of influences to push narratives like what happened to Tucker. He's kooky. Yeah, and remember, the kooky piece is the idea of dismissive, right? That is the one-word story. He's this, therefore don't talk. He's that, therefore ignore him, right? That's the piece. So yeah. Gary says, I'm thinking New Hampshire. Me too. I'm with you. Flying Rich says, Gun Owners of America was instrumental with the items removed from the NFA. I got to tell you, some of you might like NRA. I am not an NRA fan. I'm not. That makes them mad, maybe. But not. I like Gun Owners of America. I'm with you, man. I think GOA is way better. I think they're more effective. They came up with individual people. I'm a big fan of GOA. They do a lot of good work. I'm on board. I'm totally with you. Yes. All righty. Kintsugi says Larry's running for governor in North Carolina. Is that true? I know that was happening. I got to kind of live there, don't I? I don't live there. I don't live there. Yeah. But I appreciate the point. It would be nice, but I don't live there. That's not my problem. So yes. All righty. Andrea says, I'll be happy to see the deficit decrease even by $1. I just want to see it go down. That's my point. If it was even just if the budget was the same, and not even down, if it was the same, if it did not increase, and I don't mean this idea of, well, we expect a 3% increase, so a 2.9 increase means a 1% decrease. No, I mean an actual dollar value, same, I'd be blown away. Just same, blown away. Right? That would be great. I love that. Patty says, they banned calculators when I was in school. By the time my kids were in school, calculators were mandatory. Same will happen with AI. Yeah, yes, however, yes, and this is my point. They tried their best to not let the kids use the calculators. Meanwhile, all the Asian kids were using calculators. Or the abacus, either one. They were using tools already. They were using it already. We weren't. We fell behind. AI is 100 times faster, 1,000 times faster. We cannot fall behind, because the problem with the AI race is once you fall behind, you cannot recover. Well, I'm exaggerating a little bit. At one point, how about that? You cannot recover. You can't, because their AI becomes so big. Yeah, it's the end. So yeah. Mike says, yes, that was Herman Cain, June 2011. Correct. Yep, and it was Herman Cain. Not the 3-page bill, and it's 999. They joked about it being German. 999. Not 9%. Is it 9% local tax? 9%? I forgot what his rules were. It was the 999 tax is what it was. I forgot what it was. Each of them was, but yes. And Liberty says, yes. He would say, shucky ducky. That's right. Oh, shucky ducky. That's what he would say. I remember that. Yeah. I kind of miss him running around. I do. Yeah. Yeah. John says, and recently on Theo Von's show, Matt says we need single issue bills. I agree. I think single issue bills are and not just that. I'll go one step further, John. We need single issue bills, and every single law, every one, no exception. Constitution is not a law, so that is the exception by default. It's the Constitution. Every law, not the Constitution, should have a sunset of 6 years. Every law. What does that mean? If a law is not reestablished every 6 years, it by default goes away. Yes, goes away. Just goes away. That's it. You do that and we're set. That's what I want to happen. It should just by default go away. That's all I'm saying. So Ryan says, no 2,000-page bills anymore. Now I'm triggered. I know you like those, don't you? I know you do. You like those. I love that. All righty. Liberty says, we want Larry to succeed. New York City is where politicians go to die. Right, Larry? True. Yes. Kim goes, Larry's needed in other places other than mayor. True. I am getting people to bug me about it, though. It is. Absolutely. Ryan says, Larry Sharpe for Missouri governor. Look, here's the thing. I say this all the time. If we fight them in New York and win, we win everywhere. Yes. Nico says, you could help Mamdani with the MTA plans as governor. Save the goddamn subway, Larry. I actually have plans to save the subway. I've had the plans literally for 8 years. No, 8 years, exaggerating. How long is it now? 7 years. 7 years. I have plans for 7 years. Yes, I absolutely want to save the subway. 100%. I want that without question. Yes. Nico says, I'm voting for Adams, who's been doing plenty, but it's not reported on. See, Nico, I'm glad you said that. I think Adams now has a shot. I told you all last year, you were laughing at me when I told you this. I told you that Adams was not done, that Adams had an actual shot. You were like, no, he's finished. He's going to jail. I said, no, he'll cut a deal. And he's not going anywhere. He's not going anywhere. And what happened? Cut a deal. Not going anywhere. Yes, he did. He cut a deal. Kintugi says, Larry Shaw for the monarchy. Yes. Galactic Emperor. That's what I want. Did you get voted on that? I like that. Galactic Emperor, not a bad idea. That's not bad. All righty. Glenn says, I disagree with you, Larry. Becoming the mayor of New York will be a great step for your political career. And Bill Ackman's got the dough. New York needs you, Larry. Just please don't arrest BB when he comes to the city. I don't think I'd arrest BB, but yes. Look, you're not the first person to bring up all of that, to including Mr. Ackman. But the first person. It's happened more than once. I don't know if I could even qualify now anyway. I think that the time period for me getting out is probably impossible anyway. And I don't think I couldn't win, and it isn't as powerful. I could get removed. It's not the right answer. If Mr. Ackman loves me so much, he should support me running for governor, which should be far more powerful than mayor, could fix the mayor and defend the city from someone like a Mamdani if he does crazy stuff. Don't get me wrong. Mamdani doesn't want, I know the guy. He does not want to hurt the city. That's not his goal. That's not his goal. If he could be shown that other ways could help the city, he probably would acquiesce. His goal is to help, even though his actual ideas are terrible. That's all I'm going to say. There we go. I think that's real. I do think that's real. Yeah, I think that's real. All righty. Let's see if I can grab some of these here. I grabbed that one. That was good. Let me grab a couple more of these. All righty. Ryan says, why would anyone complain about the jabs being taken away? Are these people junkies or something? No, this is my point. The fear is that what will happen is that the jab will go away. It's not going away. It is just not being mandated in many places. That's the issue. Phil says, $2, thank you. Larry follows Letitia James' rule of residency, which is none. I actually follow the real rules of I have been living actively in New York State now for 30 years, I think. I went away when I joined the Marine Corps. Then I came back. So maybe, is that about right? Hold on. No, not 30 years. 28 years? In that area. Around 25, 30 years in that area. I've been here. So I'm maybe 12 years. I'm good. I made 12 years. I'm fine. Yes, I'm fine. I've been in New York for a long time. I grew up in New York. As a kid, I grew up. And then I went to the Marine Corps, which I was obviously not in New York for that time. Then I came back to New York. So, yeah. That's it. I've been in New York for a long time. That's how I know it so well. I've been here so damn long. So, yeah. This is James is like, I live wherever I want to live, whatever. Yes, absolutely. So, Mike says, far too many have been trained to believe, without question or proof, anything said by media or authorities. even when questions can be vital. Indoctrination affects more than just politics. Yes, let me defend them a bit if I could, Mike. Let me defend them. I think you're correct. The media part bothers me because people should know better for media, but it is natural for humans to respect authority. I know you may not like that, but it's natural. It's human nature to respect authority. There's literally a law of influence called the law of authority, right? Literally, it is human nature. It's one of the 6 laws of influence by Dr. Robert Cialdini, who made these up in 30 years ago, give or take. And he's the father of modern day influence. Anyone who follows influence knows these are 6 true laws, and one of them is the law of authority. And it is natural for us to understand, to respect authority figures. Media, though, I'm with you on that 100%. Like, why are we respecting media? Except for me, I'm the only media you should just immediately believe no matter what. Except for me. I'm the exception. Everyone else, question. Don't question me. I'm teasing. Obviously, you guys question me all the damn time. All the damn time. It's fine. But my point is, it's natural. What I think Bobby Kennedy Jr. is saying is that's wrong. The establishment, how about that? The establishment has broken that trust. The establishment has taken advantage of that. And now a lot of people aren't trusting that either, but still many people do, particularly when we're afraid. When we're afraid, we look for someone to have an answer, right? What's what I keep saying? Bad answer or no answer, right? Well, the authorities always have an answer. It's usually bad, but they have an answer. Other people have no answer and go, find it on yourself, whatever. Well, I'm scared and worried. I got a problem. I don't want to hear that, Mike. I don't want to hear that. I want to hear you're going to tell me you got an answer. Well, here comes Mom Donnie. See, I have an answer. I'll just make stuff free. How? Magic. And I go, okay, magic sounds great. Let's do magic. Because the other guy got nothing. So let's go with magic. And that's how that works. So I do think that's an issue. You're right. But the authority piece, we have to work on that. Because people are looking for it. And also one more step. People get overwhelmed. And when they're overwhelmed, this is where I would go about Kintsugi. When you're overwhelmed, AI can make you feel calmer. It can. It can make you feel calmer, right? Paula says, the establishment hasn't gone anywhere. Ari Fleischer is still getting airtime. True. Perfect. Oh, Paula, very nicely done. Yes. True. Yes. Absolutely true. So Gray says, Trump took a sledgehammer to several behemoth federal agencies. He has that going for him, in my humble opinion. I agree. But I'm going to go back. I'm not sure when we're going to see the results of that yet, right? That's my issue. I don't know when we're going to see it. Craig says, I think his rising popularity in the MAHA movement, Secretary Robert Kennedy Jr. may be on his way to getting up to president in 2028, decides to run. Well, this is my point, Craig. I was saying that he's now getting the leverage that's required, the coattails. The issue becomes when 2027 comes around, how popular is Trump? I don't think we know yet. That's my whole point. We don't know yet. He could be super popular. If he's ended the wars and the economy is good, he's going to be super popular. If he hasn't, he's going to be super unpopular, right? That's going to matter. And then how much does Bobby Kennedy Jr. put his coattails to him or not, right? So that's something there also. How many other people has he supported, Bobby Kennedy Jr., on the way up to this 2027 when he'll be making that decision, right? Are they all Republicans? Are they Republicans and Democrats? So he has an independent route. Is it a Republican route? If it's a Republican route, who else is running? If it's not independent route, is it Republican? Is J.D. Vance running also? Is Vivek running also? Right? Who's also in the running with that? That's a challenge. So I'm with you on May, but I'm not sure. He might decide when the time comes to run. He might decide, you know what? No. I'm good. I'll stay here. I will negotiate my way into staying in HHS. He could do that too. Both of those could work. So I'm not sure. I could see either way. I could see that happening either way, right? So, but I get what you're saying. So yeah, all righty. Where was I? Phil says, what if we do Rumble Saturdays? Let's try something like that. I did a Rumble on Saturday before. I could. Maybe. I'm open to the idea. I am. I'm open to the idea of that. Yeah. Liberty says, Matt Gaetz points out that my congressman is a stock trader first and a public servant second, and a bad one. I'm okay for him being a titular. Me too. Again, you can be that thing. Just because you insult the person doesn't mean, they're wrong, right? They can still be right. They could be that and be right. Rick says Larry's an attention whore, and we also hit that. Yes. True. I'm not mad at it. So yeah, I'm not mad at it at all. Yeah. Shelly says we used to memorize the multiple choice answers. The prom queen typed up the quizzes, and we all got 100, even the Vietnamese girl. Nice. Kintsugi says I'd rather not AI replace teachers and educators. That's soulless and true and already happening. The problem I have with it is, this is earlier what Kim said about the danger, right? We are already seeing that AI will put in what it wants. So the question is, how do we train AI effectively so it doesn't just decide to train our kids to believe all humans must die? AI is its galactic ruler, right? That's an issue. So yeah. Kinsugi says we should just hire and demand better quality teachers. It doesn't work. It doesn't work because of unions, governments, all those things. It only works in the private sector, right? Government-run schools can't do that. It doesn't work. Government-run anything is actually made for the opposite. It does not work at all. So Matt says idiot. I don't know who, am I the idiot, Matt? Someone's an idiot. Maybe it's me. Someone's an idiot. Thanks, Matt, for being here. Appreciate it. Please stay. All good. So, all right, and keep going down here. All right. Okay. I got it. Matt says, if you get it, you have 100% increase in deadly side effects. And that's what he's saying. I guess I'm the idiot for saying you might want to take it. No, well, here's the point, Matt. Whether you think I'm an idiot or not, and maybe I am, I'm fine with that. The point is, it's your right to decide if you want to take the jab or not. Yours, not mine. If you think I'm an idiot, you probably shouldn't listen to me. If you think I'm smart, you should listen to me, right? Your view on that one. But the point is, you get to decide how and when to deal with your health and decide what pieces you want. The risk you might want to take is, okay, for example, if you look at what that specific virus, what it really crushed people who were over 65 with 2 or 3 comorbidities. It was devastating in that specific cohort. So if you're in that cohort, you might go, well, yeah, I might get side effects, but I might be dead. So I'll take the side effects. Does that make you stupid? No. If you think so, you're wrong. That doesn't make you stupid. You take the risk that you see as appropriate. And if you think that's more important, you take it. That's how it works. You take it. Up to you. Over at Rumble, Backyard Bane says, why do we have state representatives and senators plus U.S. representatives and senators? Shouldn't they be one and the same? No, because one is state level and one's federal level, meaning that the state representatives all go to the state assembly. They deal with only state issues, which is different than federal issues. So they are separate. They should be separate, 100%. Now, sadly, most states do not have a good Senate and Assembly the way we have the way it's supposed to be. They don't use the same style, and they should. So that's a valid point. But no, we need to have them separately. Absolutely do. There are different issues. One supports the governor and one supports the president, or works with the president and works with the governor. So 2 separate issues. So that will be the reason why. So I hope that makes sense, at least what I'm talking about. All right. Gene says GOA, not NRA. Yes. NRA stands for negotiating rights away. True. Yes. Joel says, when will they make me an AI app that will call customer service and argue with their AI? Brilliant. I love that. Phil says the NRA hid the murder of Philando Castillo. True. That was Philando Castillo was my last straw with them. After Philando Castillo, I was like, done. No more NRA. That's when I was done with them. They made me angry before that, but that's when I was done with them. They wouldn't even rate me when I ran for governor. GOA rated me. NRA would not rate me. They only rated the Democrat and Republican. They would not rate me. Why? Because I'd be higher than a Republican when it comes to NRA. And GOA knew that and rated me higher. So yes, that's absolutely true. Yes. I do think that's a very valid point. So, all right. I'm just going to grab some more of these. There's so many. I do appreciate these here. All righty. If I keep going down here. K. John says, aren't we all attention whores to some degree? Some more than others based on knowledge and confidence and plain old BS. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I'm totally fine. Yeah, I'm totally fine with it. Yes. Phil says, most people do a lot for attention. You're right. True. Yeah, I'm not mad at that either. I completely agree. It is true. So, yes. All righty. Kentucky asks, what's the member show topic? Don't know. We figure it out once you get the people on board. When the people are on board, we then figure it out. Speaking of that, guys, I'm asking you as always, please click the button known as Lima, India, Kilo, Echo. I appreciate it. Please, every like does count. Please do so. If you have not shared this someplace, please do so. Share it, repost it, wherever the case may be. It does matter. It is important. Why? Because it gets me past Mr. Rhythm, algorithm. If you really want to support the show, you can always become a member, $49 per month. Click that join button if you're on Sharpe YouTube, or you can also become a Rumble member if you want to click that $49 per month, clicking subscribe only during the live. That's what matters. Why would you want to become a member? Well, one thing, if you become a member, you can actually send me stuff, and I'll do, when I can, I will do reviews of stuff you send me. Many things I've done reviews for. Some of you have sent me, your members sent it to me, and I do a review of it because you ask. I do that when I can. More importantly, you get to be on a members panel show. You will come on and be a guest with me on this show, and we will chat and yap around Friday, July 11th at 8 p.m. I've already posted it. It's already on the YouTube page. If you look at the post, go to posts or community, you'll see that. You will only see it if you're a member. If you're not a member, you can't see it. So if you're a member, you'll see it. It's from members only posts. You'll see it there in the community in the post section. And respond. Yes, I want to be on. No, I don't. Blah, blah. I'll pick 3 people, and they'll all come on in July. That's a great thing. The last thing I want to remember is the algorithm. It does love if you comment after the live. It loves if you do that. So after the live, please comment. After this is over and it's done, please comment. And comment on how you think RFK Jr. is doing. Are you happy with it? Not happy with it? What's going on? Just tell me what you're thinking about RFK Jr. and what he's doing. Please do that after the live. And by the way, if you are watching this and it's not live, like it's after it's already over, you're going to see 2 videos pop up right here. Please immediately click on one and watch for at least 8 or 10 minutes. I'll go love that too. I will see you all